So back to how Forest City is compensates for taking up space in the kampung and all that. You shared earlier that that Forest City does give compensation, and a lot of the criticism is that livelihood of the locals have been affected badly by Forest City. But your argument is that there's fair compensation, so you could elaborate on that, maybe show us some proof.
I think very simple on my end is this. Number one is we have, I'm not sure what compensation you're referring to. If you're talking about land acquisitions compensation for the project, I think all projects in Malaysia is the same, subjected to the same Land Acquisition Act. We compensate at fair market value, and it's on a willing buyer, willing seller basis. So a settlement has to be agreed between both parties before what's that called, a payment for the land can be. It's the standard way of doing it. But if you're talking about livelihood being affected, that we cannot agree, because from what we understand is originally this place there is not there hasn't been any much activity or economic activity for that matter around this area. But if you're talking about some of the fishermen that has suffered, there is a small group which is under the Persatuan Nelayan Johor Selatan, which we actually work with the Persatuan. And what we do is we give compensation directly. And of course, we have documents to prove lah. So we are not worried. But more importantly is that it's a fair compensation that is agreed between us and the association. So what I'm trying to tell you is that we are a business with a heart. We are a corporate with conscience. Whatever we do, it's not about bottom line. Because if we are really about bottom line, there's no need to choose a emerging market as a investment destination. You would choose a country that provides that kind of returns. But we choose Malaysia is because we believe in the potential of the country. And that's why when we come over, we want to make sure that we stay here long term. We are not a short-term developer who comes here to just make some money and leave. If that's the case, we wouldn't invest so heavily in all the other tourism components, IBS advanced factory, the education components. Because if you are just here to make money, just build the property, you sell, you move out. But that's not the case. So to be able to be long-term, we must make sure the community around us is taken care of. And that includes their livelihood, their happiness, their welfare, and their societal needs. And we make sure that in all our CSR initiatives, specifically on education and poverty alleviation, these two are taken care of. So for example, when you talk about livelihood, we not only provide space for 56 stores to be run, which means that there are probably 56 or more households that are actually supported because we provided this premise at very, very cheap rental, helping them operate their business legally, working with Persatuan Peniaga Iskandar Putri, a registered body licensed to take care of the welfare of these villages. These are active, concrete steps we have taken. And this is not done recently, but it has been continuous. But we will expand further. We will continue to do more and to ensure that everyone's welfare is taken care of.
How do you work with the Persatuan Nelayan? In what way?
For example, if there's a need for them to repair their boats or whatever, we contribute funds. If there's need for them to have a celebration of their functions, we contribute funds. If there's need for them to move their kelong to a better locations, we help them with their renovations. So these are all things that we actually work with them. But of course, we cannot work with each individual, so we work with the official body that represents them. The official body will take care of the needs of the members, and what we do, we work directly with the association to make sure that the rightful needs are taken care.
How much has been given?
I think this is between us and the Fishermen Association. I'm not at liberty to disclose, but there is a substantial amount that has already been given, and this can be verified and proved through various documentations.